Hello.
Hi, Sanjeev. Good time to
Yes.
talk?
Yes. Hi.
Hi. Hello. How are you today?
Yeah. Good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you.
Yeah.
Before we start with the interview process, I would like you to mention just two things. Your total experience in months and your experience at current tool in months.
Sure. Total 6.5 years experience. Relevant experience in DevOps 3 years.
DevOps is 3 years.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I'll give you a brief about who I am and what I do with Accenture, and then probably we can start with the process. So,
Sure.
my name is Himanshu Pratap Singh. I work with the system integration practitioners. I
Mm-hmm.
work on the automation side. I work on emerging technology. So I work mainly on blockchain, machine learning as well, right? So,
Okay.
and I'm currently working with an internal platform project, which is more towards managing the program and developing new assets.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Okay. So, to start with this, can you give me a brief about yourself, as in, your background and what have you done?
Yeah. Sure. So myself is Sanjeev. So having 3 years experience on DevOps, complete years of experience is 6.5 years. So in my past experience, I worked on a couple of tools like a version control system. I worked SCN and Git, and build tools I worked Ant and Maven. So Maven I have very good experience. Coming to continuous integration, good knowledge in the Jenkins. So in my past experience, I worked a couple of activities in Jenkins like installing the plugins and installing the nodes for my project requirement. Apart from these things, I have very good experience on deployment tools using the configuration management tool Chef, and also good knowledge in the Rundeck. So coming to ticketing system tools, good knowledge in the sorry, good knowledge in the the ServiceNow and Jira and RTC also I have good knowledge. Apart from this, I have good knowledge in the code monitoring tool Fisheye, and also Splunk also I have knowledge. And also apart from this, I have good knowledge in the backup repository like Artifactory Nexus, and so code quality checking tool, good knowledge in Sonar Cube. Apart from this, I have very good experience on the Confluence Atlassian tool, and also incident management and change management, good experience on ITSM. So this is myself.
Okay. Okay. So, consider myself as a business owner, okay?
Okay.
And consider yourself as a consultant from a company, and you're visiting me, and I'm interested in learning about DevOps. Okay?
Yes.
So, tell me, what is DevOps, and how can it help me? So I'm a business guy. I have very little knowledge of technology,
Hmm.
right? So I want to understand what DevOps is and how can it help me in my own
Sure,
own
sure,
business.
sure, 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 sure. So basically, before the DevOps thing, what we are doing is basically our developers developing the source code for the any application. If you wanted to deliver that into the customer, before it go to customer, you have to develop and you have to test that application. You have to release that into the customer. There is two ways we can release the product. One is, whenever we are doing the upgrade into the product, two ways we can do. That is either fixing the bugs or doing the adding new functionality into existing product or existing application. For this thing, so without DevOps, what we are doing is basically our developer developing the source code. Once development is done, after that, what we are doing is we will, just compiling the source code, creating the Rust files, and then creating the packages without doing the automation process. Completely manually we are doing now. So after that, what we are going to do is, after creating the package, that package, whatever package we have, that we will go and install into our application. So each and every time, whenever I want to do the upgradation, so complete process I have to do manually. So by this way, what happens? So much time I need to spend for these things. So, and also one of the drawback without DevOps is, so I can't deliver the product as per the timeline. Suppose the complete development I will do. So end of the timelines, what I will do is I will compiling the code, creating the packages. Even I have to do the upgradation. I have to test the application. Maybe if anything issue happen, again it will start from the development team. So that's why these are the drawbacks while using the without DevOps. Coming to DevOps, what exactly it will do is, so it is a completely automation process. What you have to do is, first you have to develop the source code. just checking that source code into the SVN repository or Git repository. What exactly DevOps will perform is DevOps will took the code from the SVN. So these are the things we already automated. What are the steps it will perform is within one commit. So first it will pick the changes from the version control system, and then it will build the source code, and then it will create the packages, and then it will release into the a server, whatever application server you configure inside that DevOps thing, it will go and it will upload that package into that server. After that, what it will do is, so you can pass the parameters inside the DevOps only. What it will do is, parameters is nothing but test environment. Suppose if I want to deploy one package into the multiple test missions, so what I can do is, I will install, I will give the inputs from the DevOps things only, DevOps tool only. What exactly it will do is, it will go and deploy the package. So before it will go to release, what it will do is, so it will check the code quality also. So code quality is nothing but, suppose if your code having some issues, it won't be go to the next level release process. It will stop on the build stage only. After that, suppose if you want to do the testing also, at a time you can do test also using the different plugins in the Jenkins and DevOps thing. So, and also what exactly it will help you is, so it will help like it will it will save the time to deliver the product into the customer, and also main advantage is you can check the error within a day, within the spot. Once you development is done, if you want to check whether your code is working fine or not, you can do that. So everything is like a automation process we can do in the using the DevOps concept. So these are the benefits you have while using the DevOps into the your environment. So like this I can explain.
Okay. So basically, you have given me the entire chain of events that are required from requirement gathering till you deploy. And so can you again give me every stage that is involved in probably from requirements management and when you build, develop the solution till you deploy it? What are those stages and what kind of tools are used at every stage from the DevOps perspective?
Sure. So if I want to automate the every structure, what I have to requirements is, I need some requirements to implement the DevOps thing. So first stage, it will start from the version control system. Basically, version control system uses, so to, if I want to, I'm the developer and every day I will develop the source code. If I want to save my code as per the revision number, I need the version control system. Version control system is nothing but, basically we are maintaining the code as per the version developed by developer. So that for that purpose, we are using either Git or SVN we can use for that. So basically there we can create the repositories, and then once, I will create the branches. Once my developers develop the source code, they will check in the source code into that particular branches as per the requirement. So once this first stage is done, next it will go to build phase. In the build phase, we have a different tools, either Ant or Maven. Ant basically we are using before Maven we are using Ant. So if I want to automate the build and the release also, we can use the build tool as the Maven. So while using the Maven, most of the things, more advantages we have, like we can automate the third party repository Nexus also. Basically what Nexus will do is, Nexus will take care of the every release backups. It will pick and from the Jenkins only, and then it will store in the particular location. So once it is done in the build tools, so we have to write the form.xml exactly where you want to check out the source code, that particular URL of your version controlling you have to give. Later, once it is done, you have to go to continuous integration is required. So continuous integration is nothing but continuously development, and then continuously it will combining the source code, and then it will creating the packages. For that, we are using the Jenkins mission. So basically, why we require the Jenkins is, before Jenkins also so many tools is there. Hudson we have, Bamboo we have. So why we are going to Jenkins? Most of the things we automated already in the Jenkins. That means we can use the plugins. Suppose if I wanted to use any other things which I don't have already in the Jenkins, what exactly I will do, I'll go and get the plugin from outside, then I will install that plugin into my Jenkins mission. So based on that I can perform the actions. Even though Jenkins will compatible for all things like deployment, build and release, and after that testing also it will perform. So like very recently, Selenium also we integrate that into, we can integrate that into your Jenkins mission. After that, in this process only, we require one more tool, name it as the Sonar Cube. What exactly Sonar Cube will do is, suppose you are the developer, you developing the source code. Suppose you checked in the source code into the your version control system. Suppose if Jenkins, trying to do the building and all, what exactly SonarQube will do is, so in the build stage only, it will check the code quality, whether your code is quality or not. Suppose if anything goes wrong in the code, what exactly SonarQube will do is, it will stop the building and then it will send the reports to the your developer. So this advantage while using SonarQube we have. Coming to next thing is, after that, a server is required to upload the packages, either Red Hat server or application server. That is based on the requirement. So what exactly we have to do is that we integrated into our Jenkins only. In the build phase only, automatically it will go and upload the package. Coming to last thing, deployment phase. In the deployment phase, what exactly we'll do is, we are using the deployment tool as the Rundeck. So basically Rundeck, we will create one particular job in the Rundeck. So after that, what exactly I will do is that whatever Rundeck job I configured in the Rundeck tool, so that UUID code of the particular job, I should install that plugin into our Jenkins mission. That UUID code I'll pass from the Jenkins only. So if I wanted to perform the deployment, we need some IP address to perform the deployment. So for that, what exactly we'll do is, we'll pass the parameters from the Jenkins only. In the Jenkins, we have a option for that build is parameter. So from there only I can pass the parameter. What exactly it will do is, first it will check the parameters and then it will go to Rundeck mission. It will check the whatever UUID code you passed from the Rundeck. It will go and check and then it will deploy the package, install that package into your test server. This complete step is already, we can automate. Just one shot, whenever you check it in the source code into your version controlling, till deployment it will go.
Okay. Okay. So, what about monitoring and code profiling? What kind of tools are used in that step?
Yes. In this phase, we are using the Splunk for the monitoring tool, and also health check monitoring also we are using. Basically, what exactly it will do is, it will check the performance of my servers. What exactly performance is nothing but, suppose in the test environment so many servers are running. Suppose any server cross the some limited CPU utilization. That scenario, I'll get the email notification from the health check monitoring tool. So basically, what it will do is, it will check the performance of your environment, complete environment. It will monitor and then it will send the notification. So we can include that also in our configuration.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So have you worked on ELK?
What?
ELK.
ELK.
Do you know what ELK is?
ELK means?
Elastic Log Cache Kibana. That's
no, I never get chance
okay.
work on that. But I worked in AWS, like Elastic IP Sandal. I worked cloud.
No, that's not a cloud tool. That's mainly for monitoring and.
Yeah, that tool I didn't work. Health check monitoring I worked, and Splunk I worked.
All right. Okay. So you have good exposure on AWS?
Yeah, knowledge on AWS. So from past 6 months I started working in AWS also.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I would also like to understand, do you know what Docker is and how is it used?
Yeah. So basically Docker we will use for the containerization tool. Exactly what we will do is, we will create the images in the Docker hub only. So it's based upon your project requirement. So in the project we can use the private account or public account. So what exactly we'll do is, we will divide two ways you can pull the images from the Docker hub. So what that is, you can write the own images, or a Docker file you can write, and then you can upload that into your environment. So according to that, you can use into your Jenkins mission using the Docker build and publish, or else you can pull from the Docker hub also, images. So you can use instead of master slave concept, you can use this thing in the Jenkins. So for this concept, we are using the Docker.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have exposure to cloud architectures?
Yeah, I have knowledge.
So, okay, so can you talk about it? What exactly cloud is?
Yes. So as for my environment, I have knowledge on the creating the instances in my AWS account. So basically, my account is very small account. So environment is very small. So according to the developer requirement, we are creating the instances in the cloud base. So in that, once we created that, what exactly we'll do is, so IAM we are using for the giving the access management to the my developers and all. So in the IAM, basically we will use we will give access different ways. either like giving the access as a single person or groups, I mean administration or particular service access. This kind of access management I will use the IAM. So coming to next thing is, so we will use S3 buckets, but not yet to we I mean automated that process. Now currently we are using as a manual process. So how we will use that is, so whatever packages we will generated in the DevOps environment, that packages we will store that into our S3 buckets we are using for that. So basically we have nearly 20 to 30 buckets currently. So there only I will store my packages into the cloud. So I mean database also I will create sometimes. So according to the requirement. So if I require my developer required a database also, I will create the MySQL database, and Oracle also we tried. I mean we will give the database also for per particular instances. So these kind of activities we'll do in the cloud. Sometimes we will do I mean auto scaling also whenever we are doing the deployments. So that scenarios we will do the auto scaling also. But AMI and all we can take the backups in complete instances. So this kind of work we did.
Okay. Okay. So consider yourself as a DevOps consultant, and imagine me as a company's representative or a client who wants to implement DevOps.
Correct.
So you're going over there as a consultant. So he has some requirement on how he wants to automate. So how would you approach the problem? I mean, what kind of questions you would be asking, and how would you frame the problem, and how would you come at the solution side? So can you give me the process, as in how would you approach it? I mean, what kind of things you would be talking to the client? What kind of information you would be gathering from the client?
Sorry, come again. Your question? If I want,
I'm saying is, consider yourself as a DevOps consultant.
Sure.
And you're at the client location. You're talking to the client, and he has some kind of automation requirement that I want to do something around this. He has no idea what is to be done, and he hasn't sent you anything about his problem. What exactly?
He don't know exactly what exactly DevOps. Correct. Client don't know anything. Correct. Okay.
Right. So how would you approach it? Right. What kind of data you would be gathering? How would you form a solution for the client, and how would you arrive at that solution, right? And finally, I mean, what is the entire process? I mean, how would you approach the problem, and how would you present the final solution or final whatever, and what are those deliverables that you would be giving to the client so that he can take this project up?
Yeah.
Are you getting my
yeah.
Are you getting the question?
Yes, I got question.
Okay.
Yeah. So if any requirement like this scenario, what exactly I will do is, so first I will check their environment. Their environment is what exactly they are using without using the DevOps thing. How the process of their things, their side. First I will ask the question like, so can you explain about your environment? I want to know exactly what is your application and what exactly your teams are going to do. So complete environment, I need to ask the question. So why? Because if I want to implement new thing, first I have to check existing thing. So then only I can proceed with the new stuff. Suppose if they are explaining, suppose like if we have a development team and environment team and a testing team and production team. So basically my developers are developing the source code. After that, they will only compiling the source code. They will create the package. After that, it will go to test environment. After that, it will go to production. Then we will upload that into our application. After that, we will deliver the product into the customer. So this kind of information, maybe if client will explain what exactly I will do is, so I will suggest to you can use the, if you give chance to, if you give chance to work on the DevOps, I will give one suggestion like complete process I can implement as the automation process, what you are going to do as the manual process. So suppose how my DevOps will work is end-to-end architecture I will explain like, so this is my DevOps architecture. So in this way, what exactly stages is different stages we have while implementing the DevOps into your product. So these are the advantages you have. So entire thing end to end I will explain. So once it is done, what exactly I will do is I will check one dummy application I will take, and also I will take one dummy code, and also I will show to client as the showcase. I will give the end to end process. So how I will do it? First, for development side, I don't have knowledge. For that, what exactly I will do is, first, before I'm going to implement, I explain into my client. So first step, I need to write, I will take from the developer help to write the one HTML file. So what exactly in the HTML file will do is, so in that one sheet I will mention, I mean in that particular page, suppose, hi, welcome to Bangalore. So this is my one page. So in that page, suppose if I wanted to add one particular column in that particular page, suppose if I want to add the person name and contact details and submit button if I wanted to, I mean implement it to that particular browser. So this is my application. Suppose what exactly a DevOps thing will do is, first I will just check in the source code into one location at the particular location in the development stage. So what exactly my DevOps will do is, completely it will go and install the, suppose in that code what exactly I will mention is, suppose in that sheet whatever application I have, their submit button is not available now. Just I commented in my code. So after that what exactly I will do is, I will remove that comment in the development code. So whenever my deployment is success, automatically the submit button will be enabled in that particular application. So that is my requirement. So for this scenario, first I will one code I will check in into the version control system. What exactly it will do is, it will pick the changes, whatever you made the changes in the development, and then after that it will go and check the, I mean build phase, it will go and check in the continuous integration, it will check the code quality. After that what exactly it will do is, it will build the code and then it will release the code into the whatever environment I have in my test environment. I will pass the test environment and then it will go and install the package. Finally, what it will do is, it will go and install the package into that particular browser, whatever I took as the example product, I mean application. It will go and enable the, submit button. So this is completely one deliver the product from scratch to the, deployment into that application. Within 5 to 10 minutes, it will go and finish the work. So this complete architecture I'll show to my, client.
Okay. Okay. Have you done any kind of competition analysis?
No,
Okay.
I
Do you
didn't
know
get.
competitive analysis is?
No, I didn't get chance on that.
Okay. Any idea on business case creation?
No. So only I went one time for the, KT for some other organization to get the KT from them, and I implemented that things into my environment.
Okay. No, I'm just saying, do you know what business case creation is? How do you create a business case and how do you present it?
No,
What exactly is there in a business case?
this kind of work I never did.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
One last question. Do you understand what DevOps metrics are and what are those metrics?
Yeah.
Okay. So give me few of the metrics as well.
Metrics means advantages, correct?
No, metrics is something by which you measure the advantage. There are different parameters that you want to measure. Benefits are different. This is how you measure those benefits.
Yeah. So, if I wanted to, implement the automation process, like if I suppose we are using the completely like a manual work we are doing.
So let me give you an example.
Yeah.
So one of the DevOps metrics would be number of builds, right?
Okay.
Number of builds that are currently ongoing or